Hello, I'm Refashionista Sheri, and if you love refashioning and upcycling and reusing just about everything in your house, you've definitely come to the right place because I put out a brand new upcycling, refashioning video every single week, plus loads of thrift flipping content as well. So go ahead, subscribe, throw me a like, leave me a comment letting me know the kind of things you want to see me try to upcycle, and then we can get refashioning together. So a few tutorials ago, I shared my rather epic upcycled pillowcase dress, and it got me thinking to maybe hit the thrift shop and look for some more awesomely patterned pillowcases. So that's just what I did when I had my 50% off coupon, and here's what I scored. Look at these absolutely gorgeously patterned vintage pillowcases. I mean, come on, you do not get any cuter than perfect patchwork checks and of course the lovely rainbow stripes. And I already had these perfect pink polka dots in my stash, so I think today we're gonna see how we can combine these three awesome vintage pillowcases into one fantastic garment that will be perfect for fall, and perhaps it might even double as an adorable Halloween costume. So let's get making. For this hopefully quick and easy project, all you need are 3 pillowcases, or as many pillowcases as you think you'll need to wrap around your body, and they should coordinate well together. I realize this is an awful lot of pattern mixing going on here, but they all look so cool together, and all the pinks are very, very close. So I think it's going to be a success. And of course, you need your sewing gear. So you can see here, I have all of my pillowcases lined up together, and that is so I can hold them up to myself and see which one actually is the longest, because that's the one I'm going to use for the main body portion of my awesomely cutie patootie sweetie petite dress. So I've taken my main body pillowcase and flipped it inside out, and then I folded it in half pretty evenly. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but it's pretty even. And now I'm just going to take my scissors and chop out this folded corner here to create a head hole. Okay, so you can see I got my head through fine. The head hole is the perfect size, but this is most certainly not going to fit over my body whatsoever. So I have to go upsize this pillowcase with another pillowcase so I can slip it on over my body. Okay, so I have opened up both sides of my main body piece. My head hole is perfectly centered, so that is lovely. And now I'm just going to pop it on so I can figure out how big I need to make my side panels. So now that I have it on, it appears I have unintentionally created a very, very attractive apron or smock type of garment. But yeah, this definitely needs to have something on the side seams. And again, I'm wearing really, really baggy clothes right now, but I don't really think I'm gonna need too much for my side panel. So I've already decided I want to use this one for my side panels, and I think I can just fold it in half, and that's going to give me more than enough space so I can get this on and off over my head, plus, you know, make it fit me way nicer. So let's go make this into side panels. So to create my side panels, first I simply chopped my pillowcase into 2 pieces. And then I chopped one of those pieces into 2 more pieces, and I hemmed up the raw edge on one side, and luckily this edge here was already hemmed up, because whenever I can use pre-finished sides and edges, I absolutely do that. So as you can see, I have my body piece laid flat with the right side facing up, and I have one of my side pieces laid on top of it with the right side facing down. So that way, when everything is flipped right side out, everything will be facing the right way. also, I did leave space here so I can add my sleeves later. So this is like the shoulder seam of my soon-to-be dress, and I made sure to leave enough so I can insert my sleeves. And there I have the lovely finished edges together. Now I'm just gonna go stitch this here. So I just want to make sure that this is understandable for everyone. So now you can see I have one of my side panels stitched on, and then when I fold the other side of my dress over top of that existing side panel, it's going to look like this. And then all I have to do is stitch this edge to the open edge of the side panel, and one of my side panels will be done. And then I'm going to do the whole thing on the other side of the dress. La la! This is now way too big for me. So I'm going to go take the sides in just a little bit. I'm just going to do 2 really quick straight seams straight down the center of each of these side panels. So it's not quite so big on me, but you can definitely see how side panels can really easily upsize just about anything. So you can see here that I just did a really quick and easy straight stitch, then zigzagged over the top of that, and then I used my pinking shears to trim off the excess fabric to help prevent fraying. So now let's move on to creating the sleeves. So just like I did when I created my side panels, I grabbed my rainbow pillowcase and I chopped it into 2 pieces. And then I'm simply going to fold each piece lengthwise with the right sides facing, and then stitch those raw length edges together to create my 2 sleeve tubes. And I now have 2 lovely rainbow sleeve tubes, and I have them right side out, so now I can easily pop them into my inside out dress. And then, as always, the right sides will be facing, and I'm just going to line up this bottom seam here on the sleeve with my lovely little side seam that I created, and shake everything down. And look, that is a perfect match. I really love eyeballing it. And again, I love it so much that I designed a bunch of t-shirts and stuff. If you want to, yeah, get your own just eyeball it merch. Anyway, so now I'm just gonna go stitch all of this together and repeat it on the other side. The sleeves are absolutely perfect, and I then went ahead and used some of the remaining scraps from each of the pillowcases, and I created some bias binding, and I bound up the sleeve cuffs and the neckline and even the bottom hem. So now we can finally go and try it on and style it up. I 100% believe this is what is commonly known as a dopamine dress, because I have so much happy energy right now just from wearing this, and I really hope anybody that sees it also gets a lovely hit of that positivity. And it is just so super fun, and it's also crazy comfortable. It's actually a little bit too comfortable, I think. I gotta take it in a bit more, but not until after Halloween, because this is going to make an absolutely phenomenally adorable clowny Halloween costume, I think. Like, you see what I mean? This is absolute Halloween clowny ragdoll perfection. It is so great with my very easy DIY yarn wig, which I made years ago, and it's still going strong. I shall, of course, put the tutorial down below for you guys. And this makeup, this fantastic ragdoll makeup, I just used makeup that I already had. Like, this is just normal makeup. It's so easy to do. You're just kind of drawing on a ragdoll face. So simple, so simple. This is so cute. I mean, really, you don't get any cuter than this. It is definitely giving me Raggedy Ann's cousin, I think. speaking of Raggedy Ann, did you know Raggedy Ann actually had a brother named Andy? And I have had these Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls forever, for decades, since I was a child. And they are very, very awesome, very, very vintage, and also very, very handmade. And it's just, you know, a couple of my precious things. And I think they might have to come Halloweening with me if I'm actually going to end up wearing this costume, because we all look so fabulous together, I think. Do let me know if you are going to give this a go and make this your Halloween costume, or just let me know what you're thinking of being for Halloween this year, or if you're just gonna make this dress because it is so simple and so comfortable and so great for just lounging around. And once again, it is a dopamine dress. But you know what time it is, guys? It is troll time! And that means it's time to put away my dolls and see what the heck I'm doing wrong this time. Hello, me little puppets. It is me, Esther, again, and today I am doing the troll time once again for Refashionista Sheri. And today's troll is one that I'm quite certain hasn't watched very many of Sheri's videos, because if she had, then she wouldn't be making this comment, because it just doesn't make any sense when you know even the tiniest bit of Refashionista Sheri's background. So let's have a look, shall we? So today's troll is named Sarah, and Sarah says,
I bet you were in the cheerleader group that bullied everyone in high school.
Okay, it's very, very interesting when a troll mentions bullying in their comment, isn't it? Because she's been a bully herself. And as I said before, if she had seen any number of Sheri's videos, she would know that Sheri was in fact one of the greatest geeky losers of all time when she was in school. And she was bullied mercilessly. She was bullied so badly that she even had her head put in the toilet and the toilet flushed. And do you know then what happened when she didn't want to go to school after that? Well, she got suspended for 3 days because she was skipping school, and her school didn't like that, even though they didn't do anything to those girls who put her head in a toilet bowl and flushed it. It was Sheri who once again was bullied, but this time she was being bullied by the school. And she was bullied at home, she was bullied by strangers, she was bullied by family members, she was bullied by pretty much everyone in her life, which is why once she could, she got out of there as fast as she can, and she never looked back, you know, which is why she doesn't have any family now, today, in these days. And that's also why these kind of comments are in fact quite hurtful to her, because again, these are people who are projecting their own personalities onto Refashionista Sheri. Yeah, this is something that I think all bullies and trolls do, is they have something within their own selves that they do not like, and therefore they project it onto somebody else, especially when they see that somebody is healing and moving past those toxic and hurtful and horribly abusive times in their lives. And you know what? It's pretty sad that it's taken until she was 50 years old, really, for Refashionista Sheri to really feel good about herself. And that is because of all of the abuse that she suffered throughout her younger years. And so maybe instead of putting your own toxicity out in the world, you want to maybe, just maybe, do what Sheri does and try to put out some positivity in the world. And do you know what else? Do you know what else is so lovely? This paper that has the troll comment was just sitting on the counter waiting for me to pick it up. And when I went to pick it up, do you know what I saw? I saw that Refashionista Sheri's kiddo had put a little note of her own beside the comment. So let's read that, shall we? Because it's lovely. It says,
I'm giggling at that comment. And do you know why she wrote that? Because she knows the history of her mother, of course she does. And she knows that this comment is not based in reality whatsoever. So that was a really nice little pick-me-up to see a nice comment from her kiddo right beside the nasty comment from Sarah. Also, Sarah, I'm guessing maybe are you American perhaps, because Sheri grew up in the 80s in Canada, and I don't know if you're American or you've just seen a lot of American movies, but cheerleaders, at least in the school Sheri went to, weren't a big deal at all. It wasn't like it is in America. And again, we're talking about in the 80s in Canada. Perhaps it's changed. I don't know. You don't need to come after me in the comments because it has been a very, very long time since I was in high school. Okay? Okay. So, whenever people write something like that, that is a very America-centric comment, I always wonder, do Americans genuinely not realize that there are other countries in the world? Or do they truly think that other countries really look up to them so much and want to copy them so much that they will get rid of all of their own culture? I don't think that's true. In fact, I know it's not true because I've lived in several countries, just like Refashionista Sheri has. And just like her, I've experienced different cultures, I speak different languages, and that's really something important that I think a lot of people in the world do not do, which is why they can so confidently write such ridiculous comments under other people's posts and videos and feel genuinely good about themselves when really they should be very embarrassed. Well, I think that's about all I have to say about that. But if you would like to know more about Refashionista Sheri's history, she shared a lot of it during her birthday videos, and there's a whole playlist about those, and so I'll link that down below for you. But until next time, please remember that just because you see something online, that doesn't mean that that is what that person's life truly was. And usually it just takes a little tiny bit of digging, not even digging, just watching a few of their other videos, reading a few of their blog posts, and then you will start to see the bigger picture of their lives. And I suggest you do that before you go typing and being just an idiot, okay? Okay, so until next time, stay safe, stay well, and we will catch you on the zigzag.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.